So this is the third month for Gauntlet League Wrestling. And in honor of that, I have returned to the Gauntlet League Worldwide Wrestling t-shirt here. It is 90-something degrees in this office. It is freaking hot in here, like crazy mad hot. So I've got a big cup of tea. I got a Diet Verner's. I got a Diet Coke. Who knows? It's a wrestling thing. I might be doing some lines off the desk later on. We will see. So we are coming in. We've got a couple of players potentially coming in slightly later, but we'll talk about that when one of them is a returning wrestler, another is a new one. If they come in, we'll take a pause out so that I can give them the spiel on the safety tools, and we can move them in. But we are going to be returning in to this. What I'd like to do is start us out and kind of come in with some of the backstage stuff. Again, on or off camera, we'll decide how we want to do that, and then we'll come and do the previously on stuff. But I want to start with you, Patrick. Also, do you want to do some heat questions? Do you think you should do those, or do you want to just keep your heat from Robbie, or how do you want to play that?
I can do some new ones.
Okay.
I'm sort of coming back in. I have all new stats.
Yeah, and we do have. I thought we had the list of the additional. Oh yeah, there's some extra heat questions on the promotion tags and troubles page. If there's any of those that you wanna ask to get those things established.
Cool. So I'm just looking through mine here for the first time.
They're not as cool as Joe Zantek's extra questions. These are ones taken from all the sheets. I have to get Joe. I did get Joe Zantek's nice set of extra heat cards. Nice. Those are very cool. I have to actually break down and order the printed copy of those. It's a nice little tool that he's put together.
So one of the things is here in the athlete gimmick. I have a work of -2, which is shocking for Robbie and the Spider Hero. And I think part of that is just as we're getting deeper into the him trying to be a bigger and bigger wrestler, he's just realizing that stage fighting and sort of screen actor things are not always paying off as well, that it's not always about the pure sort of gymnastic athleticism, and that he's just not good at reading other people's sort of in-ring cues sometimes. So I think that's sort of where that's coming from.
Okay, so, that makes sense.
In that vein, who have I approached about improving my ring work? Like how to sell to a live audience, how to get heat with people, that sort of thing.
You could have come by the old dog. I mean, I've been around the block many a time.
That makes sense.
All right.
Hey, Joe, we're getting the heat questions established from Patrick's character, and then we'd like to get yours in, okay?
Thank you very much. Sorry for the lateness, folks.
That's okay. So what's your next one, Patrick?
Yeah. I'm curious who was a fan of mine before I started wrestling or outside of wrestling, who watches the show? Or was a fan of my sort of middling Olympic career, either one.
Well, that's definitely me.
I like that.
Yeah. Tina, interestingly enough, Tina probably became a fan of your early stuff after you started wrestling at Gauntlet, because she has a tendency to go back and look over people's careers.
Nice. We'll go with who appreciates the athleticism that I bring to the ring.
Help if I turn off mute? I think I do. Previously, Robbie and Clara used to train together.
Mm-hmm.
And we've established that over 2 different seasons now. So I think that's one of the things that actually brought us together. We saw very similar styles and very similar athletic ways of wrestling, and we basically started training together as a result of that. So
cool.
I like that. And one more?
Yeah, I'm looking over the extra list at the moment. Oh, I like this, given Robbie's sort of in and out nature on the promotion recently. Who thinks they deserve my spot?
Can I take that as well?
Sure. That's complicated. I like it.
Well, remember previously I came to you with plans for a internet-only pay-per-view, and that sort of went nowhere.
Cool. Yeah. That was during a very down time for Robbie.
Awesome. So what I want to do is I want to get Joe to introduce his character, and then we'll do Joe's heat questions, and then we'll do your start of session move then, Patrick, for Spider Hero. And then we'll kind of do some backstage setups before we roll into the matches. So Joe, why don't you go ahead and tell us about your wrestler?
Ladies and gentlemen of Gauntlet League Wrestling, please welcome from Grand Rapids, Michigan, the Punk Princess, Tina Russell. Tina is a Southeast Asian woman. She is indie darling. She is a face. Tina has been working in the indies for the last several years. She's built up quite a fan base there, mostly with a really intense, brawling hardcore style. So it was kind of a surprise when she announced that she was signing with Gauntlet, especially since Gauntlet was going with this new PG route. But she's really trying to rework her gimmick now because she's realizing, in part because of looking at wrestlers like Subpig, that you can only do this hardcore stuff for so long before you really start running a risk of not being able to walk properly anymore. So she's trying to rebrand herself, but her style is still very much hardcore, brawling. But she's promised Wolf that she's going to be able to take it to like a PG level.
Awesome. And Wolf is, of course, very happy to have you in since you actually know how to wrestle, as opposed to some of the new people that got hired. So that's exciting. So let's go ahead and go through your heat questions. You'll, of course, take, if we had any heels, you would take it, but one. But you do get one with Sub Pig or Sub Fahrenheit because he counts as both.
Excellent.
Okay, so let's hear the Indie Darling heat questions.
Absolutely. I had it. Here we go. Who's excited that I'm finally on the roster?
Ooh.
I think that's going to be Sub Pig because it seems like just by happenstance, there have always been these badass women who find themselves paired with him, even though it sucks for them and it conflicts with their gimmick. This situation keeps conspiring to go there. And there's this hardcore woman wrestler. He sees it again.
Yep. That's going to be very interesting. I just finished watching the Roadshow stuff, so yes, that's going to be
Okay. Perfect.
Second question: who thinks I'm completely overrated?
Oh, this old dog knows that you ain't got a chance in this thing here. All it is a bunch of damn violence. Violence is supposed to not hurt nobody.
All right, fair enough. Who do I have backstory with from encounters in other companies?
See, that might be Kent.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Kent?
Yep.
I like that idea. Have we? Because does Kent moonlight, or is just from his earlier career?
I think it's probably from his earlier career because he started out moving around a lot more. He just sort of settled into Gauntlet earlier on.
Excellent.
After doing some much smaller promotions around the world.
Cool. Then just quickly question: were we teamed together, or were we wrestling, or were we in a feud?
Oh god, it's probably team because he seems to have been tag teams with like literally half the new people that show up on the roster, like at some point in the past.
Right.
It's
oh my
like
god! Remember we tag team together? Yeah.
Yeah. The big burly Viking redhead looking guy pretty much seems to have been paired with just about everybody at some point or another.
Yeah. And last question, who feels most threatened by what I bring to the roster?
Well, I'll take that because, you know, the hardcore, the vicious, ruthless fighting was really my shtick for a long time.
Yeah.
And you're encroaching on that now. And, you know, I may have done a face turn, but no, I don't like that at all. I really don't like that at all.
We're going to get along fine. Don't worry.
All right. So that gives us a good sense of where we're at.
You lost him.
He's had enough.
There we go. That's our wrestler for the evening. We'll let him get back in. We've got 2 start of session moves that we're going to do. One is Patrick. Do you want to go ahead and roll that social media move? And let's have you talk about what that is.
Sure. So I think even as Robbie sort of moved away from the promotion, he's still been doing the social media work and sort of long distance work. So share something you find personally meaningful on the internet is the move. Role plus audience. I think what this would probably be is some like story or bit of him like starting his campaign against the Cesta group.
Okay. And what is the theme? What is he saying to people about the problems with the Cestus group?
I'm going to get well, first of all, their name is impossible to remember.
Yes.
And I think that's just really rude. But I'm going to get it right one of these times. Hashtag something. So I think the problems are the way that they've like corrupted and sort of infiltrated, spread their influence throughout the Gauntlet, taken these long-term sort of legacy storylines of Gauntlet League wrestling and twisted them into these Byzantine, unfollowable soap opera things. Also, the fact that they're doing just this weird puppet show with management where they're keeping all of the wrestlers and all of the workers like just very off balance by constantly changing out who's in charge from month to month. And then there's just like the total lack of, from the total real world side of things, there's like the lack of support, employment. People's jobs are constantly on the line, even if they're good draws or good workers. It's an increasingly dangerous promotion, even with things like the PG rating.
Okay.
And they're not willing to support like medical and insurance and stuff like that.
So you tweet, you do shoot interviews, you do posts on social media. What is it that you roll for that move?
So it is plus audience, which is not huge for the moment, but hopefully we'll get better over time. I think it's just 1 to start with. Okay. Yes. So there's I'm finding roller page, I assume, is on here. Maybe. Yep. Where? Oh, there it is. I will take these green.
Okay.
Wow. That's a 12.
That is a 12. What does a 12 get you, sir?
Good Lord. Back over here, back up there. Too many tabs. 10 plus, it connects. You count as having +1 audience at the top of the next episode. And you start with momentum for that audience rating. If it takes you to +4, you take the top spot and make the over move. And then go back to normal audience.
Okay. So you're going to start audience 2 this session. People are excited to see you coming back. That is nice. Speaking of the over move, Matt, if you're there, we're going to need you to make the over move, which you will roll with sub Fahrenheit's audience.
All right. Let's do this.
Is it audience or is it luck?
I I believe it is audience. Oh no, sorry, you're right. I'm sorry. Look at the look. I apologize.
All right, well, that is a big 4.
Okay.
Sorry.
So you can choose. The creative books you with your lowest heat opponent, or debuts and books you with a new non-player wrestler with heat 0, or whether the promotion gains a new trouble.
Oh, we're going to give the promotion a new trouble. That's an easy one.
So what would you like?
What tab are the troubles on? Oh, sorry.
Promotion tags and
promotion
troubles.
tags and troubles. There you go. Where's trouble? Theatrical pretensions.
We already have theatrical pretensions
already.
Oh yeah, believe me.
I thought it gelled well with what we had. And that's why.
Or something else. You can make up a new trouble if you want to.
No, we will go with we'll go with bad sponsorship deal.
And what is the bad sponsorship deal? Who are they being sponsored by?
We're gonna say it's a bad sponsorship deal because something that's like just terribly like ill-fitting and inappropriate for a children's promotion. Like maybe the deal was in the works before the PG move was made and people didn't hit the brakes in time. So we're gonna say it's like some kind of like chewing tobacco or something is sponsoring the events.
And so when it's on TV, they're having to like blur out the tobacco stuff. And it's creating all these kinds of red man chewing tobacco. So it's both racist and so on.
It's a really horrible deal.
Okay. And it's rolled through. That's probably part of what Robbie has been talking about is these terrible deals that have rolled out. And that's probably one of those things you see we see on screen. Wolf Backhouse, like this is a deal that he didn't set up, but was being set up by the Robot Destroyer during the summer thing, and now he's inherited it. And it's all over the place. So we're going to get started. We're going to do some backstage stuff. Joe, we do use the X card. Are you familiar with that as a safety tool? Okay,
am, yeah.
Just awesome. So you know about that. So I'm going to check in. So Kent, let's things you will see. Wolf Backhouse is talking to a couple of members of your stable when you arrive, and they don't look happy.
And Kent will wander over because he is trying to sort of participate and kind of work with the stable and make sure and try and get everybody out and over. That's one of his things. So he will come over looking happy because he thinks he got a bunch of stuff lined up last time because he doesn't know about the letter.
And Wolf Backhouse will kind of see you and drift away, and you will see that Widow will turn to you and will say, "Wolf said that we're not on tonight. That we can just go home."
What the?
Apparently, the Kraken left, took a vacation, and
Jesus freaking,
and they cut the Lurch and Capitan, I mean Zorro, whatever his name was, and they sent them, they like cut them loose.
Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. I'll go try and touch base with Wolf and see what we can work out. Obviously, he's decided not to pull anybody on, but give me a minute to see if I can figure out something.
Okay.
Because we just got this thing together. I know nothing's permanent and everything's always in flux around here, but putting everything together and like putting together all the new promo packages and stuff and then dropping it like a hot potato is not something I want to see happen.
And she's like, look, I got rent on an apartment that's due this week. You know, I was counting on us doing a show so that I could do rent and maybe get some groceries and eat this week.
All right, let me go talk to Wolf. Let me come back and I'll touch base with you after I've had a chance to touch base with him. All right, Kent's going to basically run Wolf down if he has to.
And by the time you get Wolf is in the office, like, no, yeah, I understand. No, I said he should stick around. Yeah, look. We're doing it. I talked to Jeffrey. We're clearing some stuff, and he just does this to you for saying. I know. We're gonna have to. Yeah. Look. Okay, I understand. What?
What's up? I just heard from my folks that we're sending the whole stable home. What's going on?
Jeffrey's going and is reworking some stuff. We're bringing up some old things. The monster angle isn't going to work.
She said Kraken has disappeared. What happened to Tony?
Kraken's just taking his vacation time. He's going to be back. He did not leave. She's taking some vacation time. But between that and Clarabelle turning face, and some other wellness problems, the monster thing isn't going to work. So we're going to have to switch that around. Those ladies knew that they were on a temporary contract.
Hey, if I can come up with something and get it rolling for them just to fill in this gap, would that be something you think you could work with me on?
If it goes over, yes, but you get one shot.
Yeah, one shot's generally all we get in when things go south, like is what it sounds like is going on. I appreciate the shot, Wolf. I'll make it work.
All right. And so we'll cut from that. Does anyone else want to do like a backstage thing before we kind of roll into the previously on thing? Garrett, I hear you.
Yeah, I'd like to, please.
Okay.
In which case, would Joe like to go first?
Yeah, I've just got a quick thing.
Sure, absolutely. What do we see? Is this on or off camera?
This is off camera.
Okay.
So this is before the show starts. This is while things are still getting set up. Does Wolf ever hang out in the gorilla position, like before the show while things are getting set up, or is he just strictly in his office?
He wanders around because he is running a lot of stuff back there.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Okay, so we'll say that this is the time that he's in the gorilla position, if that's okay.
Okay.
So Tina just shows up. She's a little bit early. She wandered in the gorilla position. Hey everyone. Hey. She's carrying a paper like Trader Joe bag. She walks over to like a empty space somewhere, reaches in, pulls out a bunch of bananas, puts it down, folds up the bag, and just kind of stands there.
He'll look at you. So you're the new chick? I mean, lady?
Yeah, I'm the new chick. How you doing? You're Wolf, right?
Yeah, I'll be handling most of the stuff backstage. Excellent. Here. So if you have any problems, you come talk to me. Otherwise, Mad Dog's the locker room organizer.
Mad Dog. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Generally, I'd keep away from him. And we should have Robbie back here tonight. He's another. He handles the social media stuff, but he can also. I mean, he can carry and fetch info to me.
Excellent, great, thank you. Listen, have a banana. You're gonna need to keep your strength up. And she grabs one and walks out.
See him narrow his eyes a little bit at that bit. So let's cut from there to you, Clarabelle.
Okay, I'm gonna go and visit Wolf in his office.
Hey, Clarabelle.
Yeah, just Clara now. I need to have a chat. She takes out the title from her gym bag, puts it on the desk. You're probably going to want this because you're not going to like what I'm going to tell you. She reaches into her jacket, takes out a envelope, and passes it to him. You know my father's having some medical problems.
Uh-huh.
The doctors are saying they could have been caused by his time here in Gauntlet League. Some little twerp of a lawyer's caught his ear, and yeah, they're launching a suit. I've tried to talk him out of it. I tried to talk him out of it, but seriously, we the only reason he's doing this is we need money for the doctor's bills. That's the only reason.
You know, I wish you'd come and spoken to me or management about those doctor bills, but you never came and talked to me.
What do you mean I haven't talked? Wolf, what do you mean I haven't talked to you? Is Jeffrey management? Is he on the management? Is he on the creative committee?
He has been working on his own end on this. Neither you nor he have talked to us, and we could have done something here. But this is an aggressive action. And coming on the heels of you moonlighting without even having the fucking courtesy to say to me, to give me a chance to say yes.
Fucking you want to talk about fucking courtesy? My father is in a fucking hospital dying. You talk about courtesy? I'm fighting for my fucking father's life. I will do whatever it fucking takes to make sure that he's safe. So don't give me that crap. I've done everything you've ever asked me to do here. I've done every single fucking thing that you've ever asked me to do. My father's doing this suit, not me. I've tried to talk him out of it. I've come to give you advance notice before you get served. I'm coming here to give you the chance to do the right thing. You say I haven't given you the courtesy. That's what I'm fucking doing now. So don't give me that shit.
If I had my choice right now, you would be fired. Just going to tell you that right now. And that's going to happen as soon as I can make that happen. Get out of my office.
Fine. There's the title. I'll be in my dressing room if you want me. Oh. Before I go, have you seen the folks at ringside recently? You know, the ones in the MMA shirts? You may want to have a look at whose name is on those shirts and why our numbers are up. So you can fire me if you want. I've been a loyal worker here. I have done everything that you've asked me to. My contract says that I may not wrestle for any other promotion. Guess what, Wolf? I haven't wrestled for any other promotion.
God, you are fucking long-winded. Get out.
Yes. And I'll slam the door on the way out.
Matt, do you want to do anything backstage or?
You know what? I think in the midst of all this turmoil, the sub pick, this is a guy, he has paved his own path ahead, and he's kind of unfazed. All this stuff's going on, and it's a normal day for him.
Awesome. I like that. What about you, Tyler? Do you want to do something with Mad Dog?
I will want to do my barium move, but you want me to do that? Have you set book? You want me to play with it now, or you want me to do it afterwards?
Let me hear. I want to get Robbie's entrance, and then I'm going to set the book here because we've got. I wasn't sure who was going to be here before we do this.
Then I am happy to wait.
Robbie, when you come back, and you're gearing up, who do you go talk to? Do you go talk to Wolf? Do you go talk to one of the other wrestlers? Do you go talk to Jeremy?
I think I'm probably like warming up with Clara. I think she's been getting me back into trying to get on the ring side again.
And I'm obviously pissed at this point. I'm working a little bit too hard, and
Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I think it's like in costume backstage, and I'm interested in digging into some of like your wasted stuff and why you're in that playbook now and where your head's at.
okay. So we're backstage. We're going through a few sequences. You notice she's a bit slower than before. In fact, you notice that she's favoring one side more than the other, and there's little winces that you can only really tell up close when she does certain moves. And as you look closer, you can see she's wearing concealer, and she doesn't normally wear much makeup at all. And you can see as you look closer and as she's sweating, there are obvious bruises on her body.
I think Robbie's sort of trying to like jokingly cover up things as he's like, okay. I appreciate you taking it easy on me this past couple of weeks, but like we're here, I'm in costume, we need to go full on, like, so come on.
Okay, if you're, hang on, what's the time?
Well, no, we've got plenty of time. It's fine.
Yeah, can you give me a second? I just need to pop to the toilet. I'll be right back.
No, that's fine. I'll just keep working the spot on my own.
So she pops out, and a few minutes later she's back in, and she's looking much better. You can see there's a little tiny bruise on her arm. And okay, yeah. Well, let's get going.
All right, yeah. And I think you go into a couple of moves and maybe just like slam Robbie down at one point in it.
And it's a little bit too hard.
Mm-hmm. He's like,
shit, sorry. Are you okay?
No, it's fine. I'm just, it's changing modes. Like I'm used to everything being like a foot apart, and they fix it in post, sort of thing. I'm just, the real thing's a lot more intense, isn't it?
Yeah, well, these rings down here aren't exactly the most sprung. It's just fiberboard under there.
No, it's good. I'll walk it off.
I'll reach down to pull him up, and as she pulls you up, you see her face grimace.
So, I mean, I haven't wanted to say anything, Clara, but you seem like tired recently, sort of dragging something. I mean, are things all right?
Yeah, not really. You heard about my father?
Yeah, shit. I got the press release about it. I'm sorry it's been crazy. I haven't had a chance to get in contact with you since. How's he doing?
Well, he had a heart attack during the show, and it's not in a good place. I mean, So yeah, doctor's bills and trips to the hospital, and there's the second job now as well, and that's been a life sent. That's the only way we've managed to actually keep him in the hospital so far.
Well, but you said it happened on camera.
He was in the audience. He was my guest.
But he was still working?
Technically, he had a ticket to the event. He had one of my comps. But, you know, he's been a staple here for years. He's carried the company here for years. And Wolf, we can't afford the doctor's bill. The doctors think whatever's happened to him is linked to his time here. So there's this scrawny little runt of a lawyer that's been whispering in his ear, and yeah, he's suing management here.
Oh, look, Clara, that's fucked. But I mean, like, he's still involved. He was working at the time. There's got to be something there.
I would say that, but you know that we don't get any workers' comp here. We don't get any medical insurance. We all got to carry it ourselves. And honestly, and I don't think I'm going to be here much longer either.
No,
well,
look, that's,
I told. Sorry, go on.
No, it's okay. Look, you've had late nights recently. You've obviously been under a lot of stress. I'm not helping by pushing you into helping me train for something I already know how to do. Look, we've got a little over an hour before the show. No,
Robbie,
just go
Robbie,
lay down. You'll be fine.
Robbie, Wolf just threatened to fire me because my father's suing the company. I came in to give him a heads up. I came in to give him advance notice, and the fucker just threatened to fire me.
Look, Wolf flies off at the mouth a lot. He says a lot of bullshit that he can't really back up. But keep in mind, Wolf is not a fucking rock here in this promotion. Management comes and goes. Look, just try and lay down. Even if you don't get any sleep, just
Robbie,
go rest for a little while.
I can't afford to lose this job. If I lose this job, if I lose this payday, Dad's out of that ward and back out of that room and back in general ward as of this week. I need this payday.
We'll figure out something. Look, you just got to get hyped up for the camera.
Robbie,
everything's good as long as you can keep the show going.
Robbie, I need to work this out. Please don't tell me to go and sit down. I need to keep busy. This is so fucked up. After everything our family's done for them.
No, it's fine. Come on. Let's hit the spot again.
Okay. And should we cut there?
Yeah, let me cut away from that. So what I'd like to do is get the last week on, do the quick bit on that, and then I want to roll into that first match and see how that rolls out, see what comes from that. So Kent, what's our last week on we see from you?
I think you see the a lot of stuff with the new stable. Because he's actually pushed to have them included in the packaging, and the new music, new entrance stuff, part of that squash match with Gargoyle, and then that ends up with that big sort of meeting with Clarabelle at the end of that at the end of the big I can't remember what we called the big match, but the gauntlet style match.
The build a tag team match.
Yep.
Okay.
So that together at the end, as well as his the previous week with Clarabelle, them joining hands and stuff like that. So I think that's kind of where things are building up to in his package.
And Clara, what about you?
It's pretty much the same. I think they show me running in to do the save when Subpig was about to beat down Kent. Me in the ring, copying Kent's finisher to again stop him being thrown over the ropes, and it's the whole freeze frame thing where we finally lock hands, and the whole picture goes black and white. There's the flash photography, and it just zooms in with uplifting music at that point.
Awesome. And for the Punk, what's the package look like for you? Is it one of those lead up things? What does that look like?
So for the past couple of weeks, there's been little bits of Tina's stuff, and Tina's really what she's trying to actually do is sort of rebrand hardcore with something called the Path of Hardcore. Which apparently has something to do with like 70s kung fu movies,
okay,
and, daytime television philosophy and classic wrestling, because that's all of the things that she references. But and then the this week, because this is finally going to be here to spot on TV, it's her in an arena with a bunch of fans behind her, like talking about hardcore is not just about kendo sticks and frying pans and chairs and ladders and tables. It's about reaching past your limits. It's about saying yes when life says no. It's about being hardcore, and everybody's hardcore.
Nice. Sub Fahrenheit, what's our previously on?
All right, so the previously on for him, it's going to focus on like just all the beating that he took during the first match last week, right? You know, it seems like everybody was coming after him. He was just, and there were so many attempts to kind of toss him over the ropes, and he kept spending momentum to evade it. You know, he was really getting the hurt put on him, and they're showing close-ups of this, and really playing it up because it leads into the fight with the Kraken, clearly framing it as this guy went in there beaten and battered against this monster, and he came this close but couldn't pull it out.
Nice.
That's kind of the narrative.
I like that. And Robbie, what's the lead up package for you?
So I think it's like in a far distant mysterious place on top of a misty mountain in an ancient pagoda that's definitely not like a log cabin that someone just put some facing around for an afternoon shoot or anything like that. Don't be ridiculous. And he's there, and we see some like shots of Robbie doing some very basic sort of martial arts training, and he'll just go crazy and like break the training dummy and beat it on the floor. And we see shots of like wrestling matches between him and Venomous, and you see like the red eyes effect as he's battling with this inner infection that he has. But he gets stronger and stronger. He's able to hold it back, and finally he's in like live sparring matches with the monks that are training him at this distant monastery, and manages to make it through just using like restrained power, and he doesn't go crazy and turn into his sort of infection self. And he's there, he's serene, he's ready, and then one of the monks comes to him and says, You've conquered your inner demons. You've found tranquility again within yourself. And your timing, it couldn't be better. For the Cestus group, it moves forward again. It sends its tendrils out, and its minions are infecting the greatness of Gauntlet City. You must return. And then it's like the big splash of Spider Hero logo and the theme music.
And Mad Dog, what's your package?
Oh, hell. I think we see a montage. First, we see like Mad Dog. He's shaking hands with Bear Bryant in his uniform in black and white, his Alabama uniform. We see him taking it, we'll see a little clip of him taking it to Adrian Adonis. We see him putting the elbow down on Jake the Snake. We see him pummeling on Hulk. A savvy person would recognize Hulk's about to Hulk up, but still, he's pounded. Right. We even see him put a boot to Andre, who falls back in the ring, into the ropes and gets tied up. Then we cut to a much older Mad Dog as he looks out and he says, "Gauntlet League is where legends are made." How, how, how!
Awesome. And there's probably a preliminary match. We'll see some of the women wrestlers, Dr. Explosiones and Serious Business and Rattler Queen. And essentially we get a couple of tag team matches in there to kind of start the card. There's some other stuff. And then we will cut to a set that's kind of been redressed that sort of looks like the the downstairs steam room that we've used for Sub Fahrenheit's promos. But we'll see the desk. We see a number of shadowy figures there, and we eventually cut, and we can cut to Wolf Backhouse sitting behind a desk, and he says, "Cestus Group believes that there are too many heroes in Gauntlet League Wrestling right now. You will all have your day, but right now, we are going to weaken them. We are going to pit hero against hero, and we will see who emerges. Those are the orders that I have been given, gentlemen. You will follow suit. Even," and he turns to a shadowy figure, "even you, who they will not believe is part of our group." And then it cuts away, and the first match is going to be, strikingly enough, Kent versus Robbie as the first match of the evening there. Spider Hero versus Kent Reed. Two faces put into the ring there. He probably at that point has put the eye patch back on, since he's on camera for that, since he had the eye. So tell me, Kent, what does your promo against Spider Hero look like?
Okay, I think you see Kent appear, like he's brought in the stable with him to the interview.
Okay.
And
Victoria Onyx is there, right? She's got the mic on your face.
Yeah. And he says, "Victoria, I don't know exactly what's going on with management. I don't know what they're doing. I don't understand it. But I do understand this. When we get into the ring, I know exactly how that works. And I'm glad to see Robbie back. I'm glad he's going to be wrestling again. I'm glad he's back with us. But this is not the welcome I'd want to wish on him, but I'm not ready to lay down for anybody. So I hope he's ready." And you see the stable around him looking sort of nervous, or maybe frustrated. It's tough to tell what kind of vibe, because some of them wear like ridiculous masks. And you see them like whispering to him. You can't tell what they're saying, but there's definitely some nervous or angry whispering going on. And he nods and he waves them off as if he's, just he doesn't want to believe what they're telling him. And he stalks off towards the ring.
We'll see the widow. She kind of looks around and kind of vanishes off into the shadows, like she's going to go do something while all of this is going on. So let's have you roll your promo. Let's have you cut a promo with your look.
All right. Let's see. Whoa, that is a 14.
That is a
box cars plus 2 look.
How much momentum do you have?
I have a 2 audience now based on my last advance. So I can't remember what that starts me out at, but I think it's 2 momentum.
I think it's 1.
Is it 1 still at 2? Okay.
Do you want to spend all of that momentum to make this a mythic promo?
I think yes.
Okay.
And taking everything I can get out of it.
Okay, so Kent, like this is clearly the kickoff for this new storyline. I mean, people are like, "Ooh, management, the Cestus Group is back." All this stuff, people are digging that big time. So your promo becomes part of wrestling lore. So you get to pick one from the cut a promo mythic, which is in the very last tab. Your choices are simply referencing this promo counts as cheap heat for everyone on the roster forever. Your promo goes viral. Everyone knows it, even if they don't know you. Your audience starts and reset to that number permanently goes up by 1. Or this takes you to the next level, take an advanced roll immediately.
I really do like that audience because I think I can pull that pull this thing together a bit more.
Okay, it goes viral. Okay,
so
yeah, and you know that means you're stable. They're loving that crew there. That's awesome. So you're back down to momentum 0, but you've had this cool thing hit. Let's cut to Spider Hero. What's your promo for this?
So I think it's backstage in the sort of like spider cave set or wherever I've had as my home base before, and it's Robbie putting on the Spider Hero get up, and Miles Spider Kid is there with him, and he's like,
are you in the shape to do this? I mean, you're going against management.
No, look, I've managed to find my center again. I can be the hero that Gauntlet City needs me to be. I can save this promotion from the evil that it's sinking into. And I know you don't like me going up against Kent. I know you've worked with him and you think he's good, but I don't know. Well, look, I haven't shared this with anyone, but I got a visit last night from a secret informant, someone I know that I can trust. I don't want to put it out there, but they told me that Kent, he's been working with the Cestus Group. He's just been building up this on-screen facade so that he can turn on everybody, so that he can take his monster hunting squad and turn them against all of the heroes of Gauntlet League Wrestling. I find it so hard to believe. He's such a legacy of a hero, but I know if I can get in the ring, I know if I can fight him face to face, I can see if the corruption has entered him or not.
Perfect. Let's have you cut a promo. Roll with your look.
All right. Let's see. Who am I now? Look. Okay, 0. Oh. Come on, dice. You're not helping. Oh, see, it's a 6.
Do you want to spend a momentum?
I do. I'd like that heat.
Okay, so that'll take it up to a cut a promo. Will take you up to 7 and 9. You get to either creative book you in a match, add a stipulation, gain a momentum, or gain a heat with the subject of your promo.
I'll get a heat with Kent.
Okay. Kent, you've got this new monster hunting thing. You've got your stable. Tell me what your entrance looks like.
Okay, I think you're hearing that new music again, the crescendo of wolves howling, followed up by that really hard brooding metal. And you see him stalk out onto stage with the stable. They all sort of do that little half moon formation around him. Again, all of them are kind of looking like a little nervous, a little frustrated, like they all have that sort of look. And he nods to them, and then he drives down to the ring at full run, slides in under the ropes, and stalks over to the turnbuckle and starts basically doing the raising of the arms, periodically, like just sort of trying to work up the audience, get things moving early.
You want to grab your cheap heat there?
Oh yeah.
We'll call out Gauntlet City. Get your free cheap heat. Get your momentum.
Oh yeah, he's calling out and saying, "Let me hear you."
Nice.
The hunt is here.
And Robbie, what does your entrance look like now? Is it how different is it?
So I think it's sort of the music starts up and it's that like not quite Spider-Man movie theme knockoff sort of version, but it quickly like expands into this hard rock metal electric guitar version of it, and there's even this over theme of like the Spider-Man cartoon theme song in there as well. And up in the rafters, because we have like the big complicated rigging here in the stadium now. There are these spotlight hits as the audience sees like Spider Hero crouched up in the eaves and the rigging up there, and then it goes out, and then he's like suddenly on the other side of the arena as I'm working with Miles, and we're like both in the Spider Hero costume right now. And then a couple of those, and then he just comes like dead falling down from the center of the lights right over the ring with like a bungee cord webbing, so that he comes down almost hitting the ground and sort of bounces back up as he disconnects it and does a flip for a land on the second time.
Nice. You are in the ring. I need someone on the announce table, at least one or two people who wants to be on the announce table to start this first match here. Any takers on that, Tyler? I saw you unmute.
Yeah.
Okay. So Tyler, are you the generic announcer? Does your particular announcer name here?
It's Big Bob Luckland, and I'm here to tell you we have got a slobberdocker coming on. We have two of the most popular wrestlers right here in Gauntlet League Wrestling. The Spider Hero making his return against, well, there's no doubt we've watched the rise of Kent Reed. Not only is his father a legend, but he is reaching that mountaintop. This one's going to be a hell of a match. Katie, bar the door.
And Kent, you hit that legendary promo. So I think you're going to start in control of this match. Spider Hero comes down. Crowd is excited about that, but you start in control. So tell me how this match starts.
I think first thing Kent does, because he heard that promo too, is he stalks up and they put on like a show of arguing back and forth about 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 Kent being the guy who's working with management.
Get up in the face of each other there.
Yeah,
okay.
Like forehead to forehead, just like pointing and snarling at each other, and it eventually ends up with a shoving match back and forth, and then they tie up, and Kent whips him into the ropes. He goes for a clothesline. Spider Hero ducks under that, comes back over. Kent does the drop down, and then when Spider Hero comes back, Kent smacks him with a hard elbow.
I like that. So what do you think it is? Is that good, solid work?
I think that's some basic work right there.
Okay.
He's not trying anything new, fancy. He's not doing a power show. He's just doing some good standards, starting things off quick and hard.
Have you roll with work?
All right, that is a 10.
That is a 10. Look, right out of the gate, you are hot. Do you want another heat with Spider Hero, or do you want 2 momentum?
I need to build up momentum, so I'm taking the 2 momentum.
Okay. All right. You're still in control of the match. When he hits you with that Spider Hero, he is still in control unless you want to spend an interrupt.
I spent my only momentum on that first move.
Yes. There you go. So Kent is working you over. Kent, what does that transition into?
After the elbow, Kent basically bounces off the ropes and comes back down and drops a big knee to the chest, rolls out of that, and then basically stalks over, hoists Spider Hero up, and he's going to basically pick him up on his shoulder and slam him into the turnbuckle in like an Oklahoma Stampede style slam, then come back out with a power slam. He's playing the big man role with Spider Hero.
So is that, do you think that's power, or do you think that's look for just demonstrating your gimmick? What do you think?
I think right now he's going to demonstrate this sort of new bigger strength, stronger gimmick. So I think he's trying to show off that part of it right now. He's not doing, look. He's not doing a press slam or anything, not yet.
Okay.
Spider Hero getting a warm welcome back here in Gauntlet League.
See, that's an 8 on the dice, plus look of 2 for another 10.
That's another 10. What do you want? More momentum or a heat with Spider Hero? Look at you in command of this match. Spider Hero can't even react.
I think I'm going to. I'm thinking I'm going to take a heatless Spider Hero this time.
Okay.
I can start building that up a little bit.
This is like a squash match here. Where does it go from there?
I think after the big power slam, I think Kent basically stalks over to the turnbuckle and starts to smash on the turnbuckle, given that signal for the blood axe move. And what happens is he teases going into that, and as he makes the big swing, Spider Hero ducks under that and comes off the ropes and does like a drop kick, and Kent rolls with that, comes back up. Spider Hero hits with another drop kick. And Kent takes that one, goes down, rolls back up, and then as Spider Hero comes back and tries to go for a third drop kick, Kent catches him in midair and then does a fall away slam.
Ooh, that sounds like a memorable sequence. You want to roll your heat with Spider Hero?
I think so. I think that's something we might have kind of worked up as an idea for a spot. So let's see.
See if your luck
it couldn't last forever. 3 plus heat with 1, so that gives me a 4. And I think I'm going to. I could spend all my momentum and bring that up to a 7. I want to keep this thing going. I'm going to spend the momentum, bring that up to a 7.
Okay.
So don't lose the flow here.
So when you take it up to the 7, do you want to keep control, get a momentum back, or do you want to hand it over?
I want to get a momentum back, and I'll hand it over.
Okay. So Spider Hero, tell me how we see you spring back to life.
So he's been sort of beaten down into a corner. He's panting and on the ground, and I think like part of his mask has ripped along the side of his face there. And you see him, his hands, his like head goes down, his hands sort of come together in the same pose that he'd had in the very spiritual and mysterious promo at the beginning. And he seems to, like, his breathing slows. And I think Kent comes running in to grab him and toss him up against the rope and start going again. And as he does, Spider Hero lets him grab him by the shoulders, and then like kicks his feet up and levers against the turnbuckle and like kicks back against Kent, knocking him into the center of the ring. And he's gonna, as Kent's laying there, he goes back, he bounces off the ropes and comes in for like a flying elbow on him. And as he comes down, he's just slamming his arm into him over and over again. I mean, tell me the truth. You have to tell me. Have they gotten to you? And looking at him.
So that sounds like you are definitely selling your gimmick, your storyline there. Let's have you roll with look.
All right.
It seems like Spider Hero is trying to beat the information right out of Kent Reed.
Not very well. That's a 5.
It's a 5. Now, unless the announcer wants to put you over.
He's going to find out what he needs to know. Come hell or high water. And I will put him over.
Okay. So do you want to keep control of the match, or do you want to hand it back to Kent and take a momentum?
I really could use some momentum.
Yes. So Kent, how do you roll out of this interrogation beating?
I think Spider Hero like looks like he's getting really intense, but then he like regains control of himself and tries to refocus. So he pulls back a little, and in that interim Kent snaps a knee up to the side of his head, and that causes Spider Hero to roll off to the side, and both of them get back up to their feet, and Kent basically bull rushes him into the turnbuckle, and starts going into kind of his that Berserker Blitz move.
Nice.
You see him just start clubbing with forearms and sledgehammer blows to the sides and body blows and all that kind of stuff.
More work?
I think this is more him showing off the look because that's one of his dad's old sort of callbacks.
Perfect. Let's see your roll look.
That's a 13.
That is a 13. Do you want to spend all your momentum?
I think I've already gotten that one mythic thing, so
Yeah.
I don't want to go for that right now. I want to just bank the momentum.
Okay. So do you want to gain a heat with him or gain 2 momentum?
I want to gain 2 momentum. I need some more momentum, right?
Okay. All right. And you are still in control. You've pushed Spider Hero back. Now you're returning the favor. He's questioning your integrity. Out in a crowd of millions, hundreds, something like that. We don't know what the gate was for tonight. So
several hundred, we'll say.
Several hundred.
Okay. I think that the Berserker Blitz results in like a beatdown. You see Spider Hero slumped in the corner. Kent raises him up and then just starts screaming in his face. It's like, I've been here this whole time. Where the hell have you been? Not here. Nice. I've been fighting this battle this whole time while you've been hiding out wherever the hell you've been. And he starts screaming that, and then he just does a big like veal out of the corner, sending Spider Hero just careening across the ring all the way to the other turnbuckle.
Oof. That definitely sounds like look again, that big throw.
So let's see if I can keep that going. Let's see, that's a 4 plus 2 is a 6. I think I'm going to spend 1 momentum to bring that up to a 7, and then I'm going to take that momentum back and pass control.
Okay, Spider Hero, you are back in control. How do you hit that turnbuckle?
I think he hits it like head on, like it looks really, really painful. And he's sort of dazed and concussed as he goes down to the ground, shakes his head a couple times, and you see his hands like try and come into the calming position, and instead he just slams down on the mat and he says, "You want to know where I've been? You want to know what I have seen? I've seen the evil that infects this place. I've seen it in you, and I will prove to these people." And he comes running in and I think does like a full-on like one-arm lift him up into the air, choke slam down.
Nice.
As I think maybe I'd like to do a feat of strength.
Ooh, okay, I like that. Show
my sort of, now I've got the spider strength with the venomous infection in me sort of thing.
All right, roll with power.
My gracious, this is something going on here, people. I'll say it's like a marvel. Do you see that?
That one's a 4.
That one is a 4. How much momentum do you have?
That's 1.
So what is it that happens? How do you injure yourself?
So I think it's a matter of coming in too quick. Like this is me making a snap sort of storyline decision, and I'm coming in for a move that Kent and I have not practiced at all together, and I'm trying to really sell it by doing it fast and hard.
Okay.
And so I think this is like tearing out a shoulder joint or something.
Oof. And on your playbook, what is the injury move? What do you get when you?
See.
What happens when you take that injury?
Check an injury box. While injured, you can choose to end a match, any match in a no contest. But if you don't, you gain +1 momentum at the end of the match.
What do you want to do? The audience probably hears it.
I'm gonna keep fighting through it. We're
okay.
not going to be using that arm for now.
Okay. And Kent gets control of the match because you did a feat of strength and you botched it.
For so many reasons.
Right. I think backstage, we probably see some people muttering, Oh boy, Spider Hero does not look good. I don't know whether he should be in a top spot. And you see some people in the locker room, that clear look of maybe resentment that you kind of got this high profile thing and came back, and they've been here working the low card, and you just waltz back in, and so you can see some grumblings going on backstage. But Kent, what happens next?
I think we sort of play it off. What I think happens is as he does that choke slam, Robbie just puts on an angry face to sort of mask the pain a little bit. And you see like part of his costume tear away, and underneath the costume is this sort of blackish paint on his actual skin that looks like that sort of venomous infection thing.
Nice.
And he starts holding his arm, like making it kind of a kayfabe cover for actually he's in horrible pain because of that shoulder. And he just is staring down at his hand in consternation and horror. And I think Kent takes a little while to recover from the choke slam, because he does sell it as being like something serious. To give Robbie a little bit of time to build back up. And then Kent comes up, and as Robbie's basically having that internal conflict, or what appears to be an internal conflict, Kent basically rushes him, basically hits with a couple of knees to the midsection to sort of soften him up, staying away from the shoulder, and whips him into the ropes with the with the other arm. And as he comes off, I think Kent catches him and does a spine buster.
Okay.
And makes sure to try and bring him down on the other shoulder, and then he's going to follow after the spine buster with with kind of a running double knee that he's teasing out of the corner.
Okay. Does that seem like work, or are we back still with look?
Nice.
I think this is probably a little more work. Like he's really concentrating on trying to make this look good while he's working with the injury.
That makes sense, because you got to be careful about his arm at this point. So let's have you roll that.
That's a 10.
That's a 10. Do you want that momentum? Do you want that heat?
I'm going to take the momentum, because I'm going to need to bank that for later, I think.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you I'm about to tell you the match booking.
Okay.
Okay. So you will hit him. Here's the thing. Robbie is booked to win, and I'm going to use air quotes here. Okay. Robbie is booked to win, but it's going to be a dusty finish, which means he is going to be booked to win. He's going to get to roll his finisher, but someone from management comes in to interfere and makes it look like they're helping you. So Robbie, Patrick, tell me what that looks like. How is it that you kind of get up and get to move to kind of do that finisher? Now, of course, interrupts and run-ins and more importantly, here good guy moves can be used, face moves in this. But tell me what that's going to look like, Patrick.
So I think it's sort of like abbreviated for what he would normally do for a finisher, but I think he uses his good arm, and he like whips Kent a couple of times into the ropes and the turnbuckle finally. And then while he's sort of standing there stunned, Robbie manages to like climb up Kent himself onto the turnbuckle to kick him off, and then just do a flip over to land like legs on his chest.
That sounds perfect. So you get to roll your finishing move.
All right, well, that's a 6. I'll spend my 1 momentum.
Good, you had that 1 momentum.
So on a 7 to 9, unsurprisingly, I need their help. So Kent gets to choose. Either he makes it obvious that I need him and we get +1 heat with each other, or he carries me through it and we both get 1 momentum.
You're muted.
I'll carry you through it because I want that extra momentum.
Okay.
All right.
That spider is flying.
So who is it from as Kent kind of hits the ground and he's starting to do that count where it's clear that Spider Hero has won? Who is it? Who is the wrestler that represents management that of the NPWs that comes in to break this up? I'm gonna let, since you made that choice on that, I'm gonna let Patrick pick on this. Who is it, Patrick?
I like Venomous. I'll go to Venomous.
Okay, so yeah, they come down out of the rafters. Venomous lands just as you're doing that 3 count. The ref has already hit the 3, but Venomous pushes you away and kind of grabs a dazed Kent and almost like he's like carries him out like he's a partner, like they're saving Kent from this.
Kent, I want to interrupt.
Okay, perfect. What do you want to do?
Babyface move. I'm going to spend some momentum. As Venomous starts to pick him up, Kent elbows out of it, and then he turns on Venomous, and he basically feeds Venomous to Robbie for Robbie to hit a finisher on Venomous to leave him.
Nice.
Wow.
Perfect. So tell me what that looks like as management tries this screw job on you. What are we going to do? Are you going to gain a heat with him? Are you going to leave Venomous speechless? What do you want to do?
See, I think I'm going to leave Venomous and through him the evil management speechless. Like they planned this as part of their screw job, and now they have no idea what to do.
Venomous hits the ground, laid out by the combo of Robbie and Kent. And what's the final moment we see in the ring there?
I think Kent stalks over to Robbie and looks down and offers to shake his other hand. Like they do that sort of awkward handshake.
And I think there's this moment where it looks like Robbie might continue things or might go angry again, but his breathing slows and he reaches out very solidly and in front of everyone gives a big shake to Kent.
Nice. So that's going to be the end of that match. I don't think anybody was for heat with one another. We probably get a shot of Wolf, Eye Patch Wolf, going, as his lackey has failed. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break here because we got to take our mid-session break. When we come back, we've got 2 more matches booked for tonight. I want to see if we can make it through both of those. It's going to be Sub Pig versus Punk and Clarabelle versus Mad Dog in that order. So those are the matches for this evening. So just to give you a heads up on what's coming up.
Do we have time for a quick off-camera scene before we go into the next 2 matches?
Absolutely. Yeah. When I come back, we'll check in for off-camera stuff.
Perfect.
Oh, excuse me.
No problem. Sorry to slow things down a bit. Could somebody give me a tutorial of the roll for your party? I'm trying to follow the guide, but it doesn't seem to be working for me.
Okay.
Basically, you click on your 2 dice. You just pick whichever color of dice you want it to roll.
Okay.
And once you've rolled the dice once, you can just click on those dice again and tell it to re-roll selected.
Okay. When I click on dice, it doesn't select them. So I need to like put in 2d6 and choose a label.
And then choose a color. Generally, that makes it easier to keep track of.
Right.
It looks like you've already got there's 2
Yeah.
already down there for you.
Yeah, you can you not click and them highlight in red?
When I click the words, I don't see it, and when I click any of the dice, they're not highlighting.
Try reloading the page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you should be able to just click the dice, they'll highlight in red, and then you hit that re-roll selected green button at the top.
Okay, so reloaded the page. Should have tried turning it off and on. Let me.
That seems to be the answer for 90% of technical problems.
I know, right? Let me get that link. Actually, wait.
Hello, IT. Have you tried turning it off and on yet?
Oh, I have watched that entire series so many times.
I had a computer problem in work yesterday, and I rang IT. The guy said, "Yeah, I'll be over in a few minutes." He got there. I said, "Sorry, didn't need you in the end. I just restarted the computer." And the look on his face.
Oh my. That is the dirtiest trick to play on IT is to call them before you just turn it off and turn it back on again.
Were you able to get the dice to work?
Still trying. Green. Submit.
Do you get a couple dice there?
Yeah, the dice coming up. When I click them, though, it's not selecting them.
That's really strange.
Yeah. I should have mentioned I sometimes have that effect on technology.
Okay.
If we can't get it to work, is someone okay rolling for me?
Yeah, or you can just generate new dice when you have to roll. If that seems to be working at least for you, so we'll get that worked out.
Oh, okay. And every time generate rolls makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. So you said you wanted to do a backstage thing?
Yes.
Okay. Then let's see that. With another one of the wrestlers with an MPW or just a backstage? What?
With another one of the wrestlers, I'm gonna go looking for Sub Fahrenheit.
Okay. Sub Fahrenheit, where would the punk find you?
This is out of character.
This is out of character.
All right, out of character. He'd just be, kind of in the locker room, doing his thing, preparing for the match.
Cool.
Got your shopping cart?
Of course, that's the gimmick now.
So she comes around the corner and she sees you with the shopping cart and she's like, nope, can't see that before the match.
It's like a wedding dress.
It's like a wedding dress. They call you Pig, right? Backstage?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, my friends call me Pig.
Well, how about I call you Freddy for a while?
I don't get it.
Listen, before we get started, I wanted to track you down. There's a couple things I wanted to tell you. First off, and I know this is going to sound like I'm kissing your ass, but I mean it. You're a fucking genius. Seriously. When I saw you hitting Kent with his dad's action figure last week, I lost my damn mind.
The trick is, once you've got credibility with them, you can do goofy shit like that.
Exactly.
But you got to have the credibility.
And that's kind of why I came talking to you tonight. I don't have that yet. So, how far do you think we can push this PG thing?
Well, Can't have any blood.
Okay.
Can't have any blades, any weapons, anything sick. But we can hit really damn hard. And the kids pick up on that.
Yeah. Yeah. What about tables?
I think we could probably get away with a table.
All right. Do you like to improv, or do you want to plan a couple things out beforehand?
We'll call it in the ring.
Sounds good.
I like that scene. Do we want to see anything else backstage before we go on?
I would like to do my barium move, so I would like to go and have a moment with Wolf.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so Wolf is working back there. He's got that eye patch up because he can't actually use that and work. He's you can see he's like, okay, well, when and he says, oh, Mad Dog, did you see Robbie? Is he okay?
I think he got banged up a bit. You know, you rub a little whiskey on it, it'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll go talk with myself. What do you need?
Well, Wolf, you done put a strap on that Clarabelle girl. What's up with that? We need to get rid of that thing. There's no way that should be going on around here. Bleak Woods, having metal, that ain't good. It's time for somebody with experience to hold on to that. Somebody that the kiddies love, you know. I think it's time for the old dog to carry around Strap again.
He's trying to stop himself from laughing. He says, okay.
Especially with all this crazy monster hunter stuff going on. Nobody's a bigger hero than the dog. Kids will be all about it. Wolf, come on now. Shall I roll?
Yep.
All right. I could have rolled better. That will give me... I'll spend a momentum. That'll take me up to a 7.
Okay.
Which is all right. I can live with that.
He says, you go in and, we'll make it a title match.
And, you know, with my 7 to 9. And, of course, booking me to win.
I am down with that.
Wolf, I always knew we were on the same page. And as I walk out of the door, I'll look towards wherever the camera is and say, and remember, kids, real men chew, and spit some tobacco juice on the ground.
And like probably off screen, we see Wolf just see him look around, open the drawer, realize the bottle's empty, shut the drawer again. And we will go rolling in. Anybody else have anything before we go into that next segment?
I'd like to just have a quick scene with Robbie if I could, and it's going to be a very quick scene.
Okay.
Sure.
So Robbie's in the locker room. He's hurt his shoulder. He's there. Clarabelle will walk up. How you doing? You okay?
Look, I've been better, but you know, it's the job, right?
Yeah, I know. You get beat up. Got something that may help there. And I'll pass him a brown paper bag.
Look, thanks. I need to look good for this return.
Trust me, that's going to help. You wincing every time that you pull a move is not going to do anything. You can tell that mask is so stretchy, you can see everything that goes on with your face. Trust me, and I'll...
Fine, if it gets us to cut, I'm good.
All right. So I want to cut from there to let's the Punk. Punk, what does your promo look like? Are we doing an interview? We got a pre-made package, something back in the locker room. What do you want to have for that?
So we're doing an interview. Victoria Onyx, the poor, abused, underutilized Victoria Onyx, is back in sort of beside the interview area. She's in a back hallway. There's stuff all over the place. There's mats. There's boxes of stuff, and she looks like she's waiting for someone. And she sort of gives the announcement to the TV, like, the camera, waiting for the Punk Princess. We're all excited to see this new exciting wrestler. Hasn't shown up yet. And then about that time, like down the hallway, you can see Tina coming. Still in street clothes, which doesn't look that different from what she wrestles in. She's got a t-shirt on. She's got a canvas jacket over it, and she's got a big duffel bag that she's carrying over her shoulder. She's like, "Oh, hey, Victoria, hi."
Tina, do you have a moment to talk to us about the upcoming match?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Hang on a second. She puts it down. So while Victoria and Tina are talking, I'm gonna go right away for cheap heat.
Okay.
She pulls open the zips the duffel bag, and she starts pulling out t-shirts of GLW, like legends of past. And the first two t-shirts she pulls out are an Underdog t-shirt and a Cat the Cannon Cowsey t-shirt. Those are the first two she pulls out. She pulls out a rather ratty looking Sub Pig before he was Sub Pig. I think he was the Porker or the Porkster. Pulled the one t-shirt. She's like, yeah, this one really hard to get.
I like it. You can take your cheap heat on that, and cheap heat is free. So do you want to roll into your promo?
I do. Just before I do that, though, I do also have a move.
Ooh.
It is Reputation. When you appear on camera for the first time in an episode, roll plus real.
Okay, let's start with that then.
Okay, so we're gonna do the pop and open new dice because it doesn't seem to.
Okay, I'll clear your previous dice.
Thank you very much. And I will reload the page. This is how the sausage is made. And submit.
That's nice. What's your real?
Is +1, so that is a 10.
That is a 10. So what does that get you?
Where are we with the basic moves? Cutting a promo on 10+. You connect with the audience, gain 1 momentum, and pick 1 from the 7 to 9 list.
Okay. What do you want from the 7 to 9 list?
Let's go with the gain 1 +1 heat, because the subject of this promo is definitely the Sub Pig.
Perfect.
Sub Fahrenheit.
And then let's also do your reputation roll.
Love to do that as well.
Okay, I'll clear those dice. What's your real?
That is a 5. That +1, so that is a 6.
Yeah.
I'm going to spend that 1 momentum because it's losing an audience otherwise.
So there's a vocal minority. You gain +1 momentum when you mug to your fans in a segment until you botch a roll or the end of the episode, whichever comes first.
Excellent. So sorry to slow things down a little bit, but quick rule question.
Sure.
How are we defining a segment? Does that include the match?
Yeah, the match is a segment itself. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, when I'm mugging to my fans during the match or after, whatever.
Right. If you do a work the audience, for example, in the match, or do a talk afterwards. Yeah.
Gotcha. And then doing that move, that also can give me a +1 momentum.
That'll give you +1 momentum. Awesome. All right. Awesome. So let's cut from there to Sub Fahrenheit. Tell me what your promo looks like.
All right. So his promo will be like, I guess, kind of like the typical like backstage interview where Victoria Onyx has the microphone, as he's walking towards the ramp.
Mr. Fahrenheit, Mr. Pig.
Yes. What is it, ring announcer Mortimer?
Victoria Onyx. We've met a couple of times.
I think we could go back and forth about this all night, and we should just agree to disagree, Mortimer.
How do you feel about your match against the Punk Princess?
How do I feel about my match against Punk Princess. You know, usually the Space Pig likes to get down with a pretty punk rock pussycat like that. But I'm gonna say, even though I appreciate the money she spent at my gimmick table, I don't want to wrestle her tonight. I want the Kraken. After what he did to me last week, he owes me a rematch, I think, but he won't give it to me. He's not all in on the sub pig, I'll tell you that. Yeah, I said it. Don't boo. Don't boo. There's a lot of great things about the Young Bucks. They can do a lot of things that I can't do. Like go undercover at a middle school. But anyway, since I can't fight the Kraken, I feel pretty bad tonight. And let me tell you, Punker, I'm gonna give you one chance to walk away. You called it, Chris.
Yes.
Because I feel so bad that the only thing that might make me feel better is a no rules match. And I don't want to do that to you.
Let's have you roll look.
Where did that roller go? All right. That is a 4, but I can spend my cheap heat and my 2 momentum from making it a hardcore match and make it a 7.
All right. So you have a choice. Make creative book you in a different match. Later on, add a stipulation to this match, which you've already done, which you can automatically do with your thing.
Mm-hmm.
Gain a momentum or gain a heat.
I will take a heat.
Okay. So you will gain a heat with the Punk Princess. Move those over there. All right. So Punk Princess, this is what I'm curious about. What does your entrance look like?
So this is the first time GLW has seen Punk Princess on TV. So she's pulling out most of the stops for this.
Right.
Her entrance music is "Ladies and Gentlemen" by Saliva. It is almost the perfect wrestling entrance music. It's got a call and response part of it. It's loud. It's raucous. So that starts playing. On the Gauntletron, we start seeing highlight videos of her time in the Indies and some of the stuff that she's done in the promos. And we actually let that build for a short time. And then just when it comes to a really exciting part of the song, curtains part, out comes Tina. Tina's dressed in her ring gear, over which she wears artistically cut up hoodie. In one hand, she's got her signature weapon, which is a kendo stick that's been spray painted pink.
Mm-hmm.
In the other hand, duct taped to her arm is a stop sign, like it's a shield.
Nice.
And she comes out, and the first thing she does is she starts banging the stick on the shield to the beat of the song, just da, 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 immediately trying to work the audience.
Okay. So let's have you work the audience as you come on in.
Right.
What is your audience right now?
It is 2.
Okay, go ahead and roll a couple new dice.
Roll new dice.
That's a 6.
A 6. Audience is 2, so that is an 8.
Okay, you can gain a momentum or you can start in control of the match.
I will take the momentum.
Okay, so we now know that Sub Pig is going to start in control. Make your way down. Sub Pig, Fahrenheit Pig Sub. Let's hear what your entrance looks like.
All right, so it's that cacophonous music that we've described before. And he comes out, and since there was a big ladies match beforehand, some of them are now doing double duty, kind of accompanying him as that Mr. Fahrenheit type entourage still as he makes his entrance. You know, he's still got the ridiculous costume on, strutting. But as he gets near the ring, somehow he has a microphone, and he says, "I'm giving you one last warning. You don't have to do this. You can walk away right now." And he just kind of just keeps on strutting towards the ring, staring her down.
Can I react to that?
Sure.
Okay, so Tina actually, like, when Fahrenheit comes out, there's a look on Tina's face. She looks like a kid at Christmas. She's like, yeah. And then as he starts walking toward the ring, she's like, oh, wait a minute. This is actually happening. Oh, wait. And when he says, I'm going to give you one last chance, Tina actually is like, and she walks over and she calls for a portable mic. And she actually like gets out of the ring and starts walking like back to the locker room. And she actually like stops at sub Fahrenheit. She's got the mic and she hands it like, you know what I hate right now? I hate that I'm actually standing here when I have my big shot in Gauntlet. And I'm actually terrified. I hate that.
You should be terrified. The Kraken is terrified.
I hate.
This is for the Kraken.
I hate that you'd rather wrestle some freak show than me. But you know what I hate most of all, Pig? Is that this microphone's going to have to come out of my paycheck. Bam!
So are you working the audience again, I think, there?
Yeah, sure, let's do that.
Let's do that one more, and then I think we're going to start the match on the ramp here. Who is going to be on the desk here? Chris, Garwin, do you guys want to handle that?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Guillaume Jabron will make another comeback.
Yeah, I thought Chris was on it too. Yeah.
Yeah, and hello, my name is Donnie Mueller, back again for color commentary.
So it looks like your roll was a 3 there.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to take that. I do not have enough momentum to buy that up.
So when the Punk Princess goes to do that, how is it that you stop that and make her look like a fool, Pig?
So she comes at me with the microphone. This is goofy PG stuff. He parries with his microphone.
Can we have a mic check, please? Check.
Yeah, I assume we get that sound, the two mics.
There's that feedback.
How many microphones do we actually have? This seems to be like the 32nd microphone that's been on this show.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, I've been asking them to take yours away for a while now, but they never listen to me.
That's because I always bring my own.
Subpick, the match is going to start right here.
All right. So then the microphone is parried. He'll rip the microphone out of her hand and just start boom, 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 pounding her on the head with the microphone. It's just face down. So it's making an incredible thudding sound. He's just laying in with microphone blows.
So is that you doing hardcore violence?
I think it is what passes for hardcore violence in this federation.
Okay. Then why don't you roll with real?
Dice are rigged. So that is a. Do I want to spend the momentum?
The botch is pretty bad.
Yeah, I'm going to spend the momentum. And,
okay. So it's not pretty.
And I will take I will take 2 momentum back to avoid the botch.
Okay.
That's the whole point of this thing.
So there's a beatdown that occurs. It doesn't look great. These mics are shitty and they break like immediately, and you've got the shards from them. And like Rattler Queen and Dr. Explosiones, who were escorting you down here, like take off, like they don't want to be part of this. They might actually maybe give a boot to the Punk Princess as that goes along from her botch earlier. Yeah, they definitely quietly off camera give you a couple of boots there, and then head backstage. But Punk Princess, you're still on the rampway down. The match has begun. The bell is rung, and now you have control of the match.
Need to unmute. Excellent. So yeah, beat down with the microphones, bam, bam. And even though it looks crappy, Tina is definitely selling it because she's like, God, that's such a great idea. The mics now are not working. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So what she is gonna do, like after the beat, bam, 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 and she actually like falls down to her knees. And then we're gonna say through the magic of editing. She actually has near her kendo stick.
Okay.
So she actually pulls that up to block one of the hits. And this is going to be a wrestling move, but can I?
What do you want to call it? What do you think it's going to look like?
I'm just wondering, can I do a mug to the fans while I'm doing a wrestling move, or does it have to be a deliberate call out?
I think it'd be mostly for work to audience for that. Okay. Because that kind of breaks the momentum when you go to do that.
Gotcha. Fair enough. Okay. So this is going to, I'm actually going to try and do look with this because the kendo stick is her signature bit. And
that sounds perfect.
She's going to use it to actually push him back against the barricade. And, you know, maybe some of those fans want to get a piece of Sub Pig.
Of course they do. Everybody loves a Sub Pig.
Everybody loves a Sub Pig.
So go ahead and roll a couple new dice.
All right.
So that's a 6. And what is your look?
6 look is 0.
So that's a 6. Do you have any momentum?
I do, and I'm going to spend it. I'll spend 1 momentum.
Okay. So it doesn't land great. Mm-hmm. Do you want to keep control, or do you want to hand control off?
I'm gonna take the momentum back and hand control off.
Okay. Sub Pig, you've got some room here. Tell me what happens next. No one is in the ring. The cameras are turning back that way, which is a problem because a lot of the tobacco advertisement stuff is right by you, and they're having to blur that out.
Yeah, and I think, you know, the backstage character, Sub Pig, he's got very little love for management, and he kind of enjoys, with plausible deniability, working in front of the tobacco ads. So since the kendo stick was taken out, Sub Pig is going to take it as a demonstration of how mad he is and how much he doesn't want to fight the princess. He wants to fight the Kraken. He's going to turn his back to her and begin smashing himself over the head with the kendo stick.
What
do you want to call?
What is he doing? This is.
You see, this is classic. This is classic ring psychology. He's getting into the head of his opponent.
He's getting into his own head.
Is that working the audience, Pig?
Yeah, we could call that working the audience, I think.
Does that seem like what you're trying to go for?
Yeah, I'll take that. All right, so that's an 8 plus working the audience, I presume. So that is a 12.
That's actually look.
Oh, is it look?
Oh, no, you recognize his audience. You're right. It is audience. So you get 2 momentum. So you batter yourself with this kendo stick. The crowd loves it. But it's at that point that the Punk Princess can take advantage of your distraction to do what she's going to do.
Excellent. So, quick question.
Yeah.
Are any of the tobacco advertisements like a long sort of wooden sign?
Oh, that sounds great.
The size of about a table.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, important note. Tina actually runs away from Sub Pig toward the ring.
Okay.
And she actually dives under the ring. Comes back out a couple seconds later, carrying her duffel bag.
Midas dive.
Comes back out carrying her duffel bag.
Okay.
Brings back to where Pig is still probably hitting himself. She opens the bag, reaches in, and pulls out what for a second looks like a pillow. But then as the camera gets closer, you realize it's actually a Underdog t-shirt that has been sewn shut and stuffed. And as soon as she picks it up, you hear shing, and you realize whatever she stuffed it with is probably heavy and hard.
Okay.
And she's going to lift it up. That actually is going to be that's going to be mugging to her fans.
Okay.
So we're going to work the audience.
Let's have you work the audience.
All right. This has worked well for me so far. And submit.
That's a 10.
It's a 10. All right.
So you get 2 momentum. Sub Pig.
Take that.
The tide shifts. And what do you do?
So Pig, I'll turn around. Hey, you better not play with Underdog like that. She's a real big fan of mine. And he'll slide into the ring now.
Okay. And what happens next?
All right, so he's in the ring. She got the doll out, and he will come and do like a discus elbow, which was actually Mr. Fahrenheit's finisher, but not the Sub Pigs. At the princess.
What do you want to? Do you think that's work?
That's probably.
Or is that look for your signature move?
I could say either one, because we called it the signature move.
Okay, we'll have you roll with look.
I'll take look. That seems defensible. Oh boy! All right, so that is a 4. Do I want to spend the momentum? No, I will not.
Okay. So you lose 1 momentum.
A good one to walk into.
Princess, you gain 1 momentum, and you gain control of the match, Punk Princess. And how do you counter that? What is it that happens that gives you the opening there on Sub Pig? By the way, we cut from that moment to off-camera Wolf Backhouse back there with Robbie watching all the tobacco stuff going, oh, God. We need to get them away from that. Oh, good. They're going to the ring.
Really? You didn't have anyone run this past you first?
This was stuff set up by your buddy this summer. Yeah, we'll see what we can do about it if we can get it fixed. But there's a bunch of money we're going to have to pay back if we do. And then we cut back to the ring. Punk Princess.
Okay, so the announcers will probably use a phrase something along the lines of "that was well scouted," because he comes in with the discus elbow. Tina ducks it, takes a step back, bam, nails him with the exact same move.
Nice.
And then when he's I assume he goes down from that.
Oh, he flops on his back, clutching his head, his legs flailing around.
And when he's down with that, she like leans over, arms behind her, and just yells at his face, "What? Huh? What?" And then starts booting him.
Do you think that's demonstrating your character, or do you think that's more of a work thing?
I'm going to say that's work, because this is not something she's done before.
Okay, so let's have you roll work.
That is 5.
That is 5. Yep.
Okay, so work is 0, so that at least doesn't go down. I am going to spend 2 momentum and take that to 7.
You guys are not having a good die roll night.
No, no.
On the moves at least. Do you want to take hand control off again and take one back? Or
I
you
will
want to
take one. Yeah, I will take one back, and I will hand the control back. Because...
So big. How do you roll out of that?
She's kind of putting the blows on him. He just begins kind of shaking and quivering and getting up and no-selling. And now just lays in with some chops. And he's like really...
He's porking up.
Really laying in. And he leans into her and says, credibility. And that will be working really stiff because he's really, really pouring it on.
Nice.
Okay, let's have you roll real.
Where those dice go? All right. So that's an 11.
Okay, you
And
pick 2 from that list.
I guess my real. There, my reels are right. Okay, so I take 2 from the work real stiff list.
You're kind of a bastard.
Oh boy. Okay. I injure my opponent, and the match ends in a no contest.
What? Tell me what that looks like. What happens here?
That he, like I said, he just got up shaking, looking nuts, really laying in, and it's like when you see like in a real fight, like when a puncher is like out on his feet, right, and the referee like is actually like looking concerned, and trying to get in and like separate the two, and he just throws the referee aside and keeps laying in, and the referee calls for the bell, and he leans in and says, credibility. And drags her over by the side of the stage.
Nice.
Sets up the table that she wanted.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to break in with my face move.
Okay. So you spend 2 momentum and...
So absolutely... Actually, I don't know if I need to break in for this.
It just costs 2 momentum to do it. Yeah. The part of it is cost is the interrupt. Yeah.
Okay. So he drags her over to the table, and they actually fight over the table for a little bit. And then she gains control, but doesn't put him through the table yet. But kind of like, actually, she goes down and does a low blow. Just not so much as a hurt, but as a, okay, give me a couple seconds here. And then she runs back to the ramp, grabs one of the tobacco advertisements, and starts carrying that back to the ring. And she sets that up as a table.
Okay.
And then I think we're going to fight over it. And do we want to like both go through the table?
Yeah. That's that. Does that sound good to you, Matt?
It does.
Yeah.
And what's the effect going to be that you're going to pick off that list before you describe the finish to this?
So which list? Sorry.
The baby face. You get. You can either gain a heat, leave your opponent speechless, make creative book you in a match, which would be in the next one, or add a stipulation to a future match. What would you like? The first 2 are the most obvious.
Yep. I'll actually go ahead and take the heat.
Okay, that makes sense. Perfect call. So tell me what that looks like in this battle. With backstage, Robbie, you hear Wolf go, "Oh God."
See, Subpig's thinking. Subpig's the hard G hardcore warrior, and so what he does is that the table is set up at like the side of the stage, right?
Mm-hmm.
He pulls them up such that the camera can be at their back, and going through the table is an intoxicating mystery that's just off camera.
Yes.
And it would be the 2 of them kind of like fighting for positioning, and like almost like a big like just like suplex backwards that sends them both crashing off the stage.
Yes.
we hear the ref. The bell is still ringing. They're trying to end the match. There are other people coming up trying to break this up, and you two will shatter through that table and that tobacco sign, and there's no way for them to censor or mosaic it.
Every single match he's in ends this way. What? Why do they keep letting? Why do they keep bringing him here? Why do they keep letting him do
I
these
think
things?
I think the reason they keep bringing him here is because every single match he fights ends this way. Isn't this glorious?
If I may,
Yeah.
it's not a full run-in, but just a snippet. I did pay to make sure I had the two characters. As they smash in and we have this collapse, we get the rumble of thunder and the lights kind of strobing, and we hear Kraken go ho, 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 over the loudspeakers. They just tracked him. I mean, he's not there, it's just been tracking him. But to pay off what Pig's doing.
Awesome. So
Pig just kind of climbs to the top of the ramp. And the hand just comes down, but he's struggling to crawl up and get that Kraken that he thinks is there.
perfect. And they will clear the ring. They will clear off the mess. They're desperately trying to get the tobacco ad out of there. You see, they've got some of the staffers going over and positioning garbage cans and things in front of the advertisements right now, and they are trying to work on that. And we will move on if you guys don't mind. Does anybody want to do a quick backstage thing before we go into that last bit?
Can we have one quick bit from
Sure.
the end of the match?
Yeah.
At one point during all of this happening, the camera comes around the corner of the carnage, and Sub Pig is getting up for the Kraken. Tina is lying in the wreckage and just looks stunned. But as the camera comes over, she opens her eyes and she starts laughing maniacally.
Nice. Good setup. Nikki Cross style, sort of crazy laughter there at the end. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Let's cut backstage. We see a brief thing of Wolf and Robbie back there. You guys are planning out the next horrible thing for the evil manager and stuff, and he's making sure that your arm's okay. But then we'll cut over to Kent.
This is going to be off camera. This is Kent
Sure.
talking with the Wild Hunt stable folks. He nods to him and said, "I told you, I'd keep you on here for tonight."
Oh yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen next week. They seem to be going crazy here. So God only knows, but I was able to keep it up this week.
And they thank you very much. And you'll see one of the staffers will come running over and say, "Widow, we need you real quick for something."
I give him the thumbs up and head over to the really, really nice espresso coffee machine.
Oh yeah, that the percolator brought. Yeah. And we'll do a brief segment. We'll see the Widow. We'll see her, because she's the Black Widow knockoff. We see her sneaking around in the office. She's got like a flashlight, and she pulls open a file drawer for, it's clearly Wolf Backhouse's office. She opens it up. You see her do this, and she's looking in there. She's flipping through this, and then she hears something, and she turns around. And she goes, "You?" And then we see the bag go over her head, and she clearly gets taken out. And we vanish off with no payoff to that for this week. And she'll come back and she gives you the thumbs up after she's done with that, Kent. And we're going to cut to doing the promos for the next match.
Can I do something real quick?
Please.
And it
go
will
ahead.
be very, very quick.
Absolutely.
I think we see Mad Dog coming down the hallway, sees Wolf and Robbie there, and kind of moves over to Robbie. "You all right, kid?"
Everyone's real concerned about me, but I'm feeling fine, man. I'm feeling really good right now, actually.
Atta boy. Takes a bump or two to get you going. And I smack him on the good shoulder. I hit the locker room door and opened it up without knocking, none of that, and look in to see Clarabelle, because I'm guessing we have a women's locker room as well. But no knock on it as I stick my head in and kind of, honey, is that all right? You all decent?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. And she's scrambling. She throws a towel over part of herself. She's fully dressed.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, I'm fine. Are we up?
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I just wanted to say something real quick to you. You know, I got a feeling that, management ain't real happy with you, but we gonna make you look good, honey. Let's just make sure we don't hurt anybody in the ring. Give me that chance to look like a decent hero. That's all I ask for. Don't put no big hurting on me like you do in them octagonal things. But, when it comes down to the end, the point is we both get over. Right now, honey?
That's what the business is about.
That's right. Your daddy knew it. How is he? He good? I'll have to check in. I'll send some flowers. And I'll head out.
Oh, my God. I love that you're a face in the ring and a heel backstage.
Before we go to the match, I have a move I need to make.
Okay.
I should have done this earlier. I've got a move which is carry the company, which is when when a match is announced for the title, I get to roll it.
Okay.
So that's a 9.
Okay.
Which is carry the company. On a 7 to 9, I can choose one. I can book myself in or out of the match. I can book the finish of the match, or you can book a rematch of your choice after the match. So I am...
Or add an additional stipulation to the
match. So I am going to actually add a stipulation to this match.
Okay.
I'm going to make it an Alabama rope match.
Nice. Nice. For those of us at home who have not seen the Alabama rope match, please describe to us what that would be like.
Well, the two wrestlers get into the ring. They have a rope tied to their wrists, and the rope only allows them to get a certain distance from each other.
Ah, it's like a bullwhip match. Okay, yes. I get it. Nice. All right. So Clarabelle, let's cut to your promo.
Okay. Well, I'm the champion. Surely I go. Oh no, management doesn't like me. I go in first. I
exactly.
Get it entirely. Okay. So Clarabelle walks up onto the ramp. She's in her ring gear. She's got a white leather jacket. On the back, it's got Clara, the Exorcist liquid from her MMA thing. She's got her MMA belt and she's got the Gauntlet belt, one over each shoulder, and she has a mic. Hello, Gauntlet City. I seem to be a regular traveler here. Time after time after time, and she will say this as she's walking down the ring. Time after time, I come back here and whip the ass of whoever they send out to face me. But I don't just whip their asses here. I whip their asses in another place. I whip their asses on the street. There are many wrestlers in this company, but I ain't no ordinary wrestler. Now, the man I am going to face tonight, he is a titan of the industry. He is a legend. But every legend contains a little bit of a lie. And tonight, I'm going to be painting that all over the town and showing you the truth about this dirty dog.
Nice. Have you roll with look?
Okay. I'm 2 seconds.
Sure.
And that's an 8.
That is an 8.
So I will take
7 plus 1, 8. So
I will take a heat with Mad Dog.
That makes sense. Mad Dog, what does your promo look like?
I think we get Mad Dog coming up to Victoria. And hi there, honey. Woo! How's all my dogs out in the dog pen? We get a little bump maybe from the audience here from outside. Victoria, they say that I'm going up against someone who fights dirty, who fights tough, who fights hard, but the old dog been around the squared circle so long that it's his yard. And ain't nobody walking into the big dog's yard and getting away without getting bit. Arr! And I'm attempting to work the audience.
All right, let's have you roll with audience.
Ooh, I rolled an 11, so that puts me 13.
13. So you gain 2 momentum there.
Thank you.
Now, you could also, if you want to spend all your momentum, you could get the mythic work the audience.
Oh, if it's open, definitely I'm taking that.
Spend all your momentum.
Well, it's only the 2 I would get.
Okay. So you get a choice. They'll never forget being in this crowd. You pick one. You turn them against your opponent. They can no longer work the audience or get cheap heat this episode. Or you whip them into a real frenzy, and you're gonna gain an audience as they storm up to the ring.
I'm not willing to have this match not happen, and I'm sorry, Clarabelle, but I'm gonna turn them against her.
Okay.
There's only one hero in this ring.
Yeah, they've got a lot of Mad Dog fans. Essentially, you can see that tonight they did a special senior citizen promotion. So the audience is filled with old wrestling fans here that don't get all this newfangled stuff. And why was there a woman in the ring earlier? And they don't understand, and they're very, very, very thrown by this. But once they hear Mad Dog's call, they hear that howl, they're up and they are. We know that Clarabelle's come out on the ramp. Claire, has your music changed now that you've kind of changed your identity?
Yeah, the music's gone back to the original music that Anon used,
Okay.
the Vengeful One by Disturbed. So it's a really and real heavy rock guitar theme.
Awesome. So you come down to that. What does your entrance then, your music look like or sound like, and what is it like there, Mad Dog?
Sorry, I have that kind of generic end of the guitar riff from Sweet Home Alabama. It starts playing. I've got my Alabama jersey on as I come out, and it's halfway down the ramp. I'll pull it off, and you see me in all of my mini undulating glories. And I pull it over the top, looking out at the kids. I'll throw it out to one of the kids, and I'm trying to get that cheap heat.
Okay, yeah, you can take that cheap heat.
And I'll also get my 1 momentum for showing up in a match.
Absolutely. Joe, do you want to do the announce table for this one?
I would love to.
Okay, so you know how this works. You can put each wrestler over once, bumping them up a result level. So Clarabelle, and they'll announce this tonight is a match for the Gauntlet League Wrestling DM belt, the Destruction Master belt, and they will put that out there on the table. And even though you're the challenger with that brilliant work the audience, you're going to start in control of this match, Mad Dog.
All right, I think that as she comes up in true Stan the Man Hansen fashion, and we got the Tobacco Crew supporting us, I'm going to spit my chaw right over at Clarabelle as she comes in.
Oh, and things are getting nasty already in the ring. Apparently, the old tough person spat tobacco at the young tough person. And they haven't even tied themselves up yet with that strange rope thing. I don't know how this is going to go.
Apparently, Mad Dog's fans have been allowed on commentary as well.
Yeah.
So as they strap us onto the rope, I think we see Clarabelle, seething with that. And so as we come in, she's probably going to come straight in just swinging. And no doubt about it, Mad Dog's taking the blows and falling back. And it's going to end up being, as we get to that turnbuckle and Clarabelle is kind of throwing all these blows in, he's going to go dirty. Thumb to the eye. Then wrapping that rope around her neck, goes up to the second turnbuckle, and using the rope, slams her back down to the mat.
Oh my, and I'm sure that's going to result in a chiropractor's appointment tomorrow. Oh.
Nice. What do you want to call that, Tyler?
I think that might be look.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you kind of just demonstrating who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see it.
And I'm not good at anything, so they're all going to be horrible rolls. And this one is no exception. That's a 3.
So you give your 1 momentum to Clarabelle.
I do.
And Clarabelle's going to take control of the match. Oh, so you still have 1 left. It does not. It's not a pretty sight. And you see Wolf turns to you backstage, Robbie, and says, just want you to know, I did not hire that man. It was not my decision. It was one of those leftover contract things. And we're going to have to do something.
Look, man, you've got to find better lawyers.
I came back into the company. I didn't have any choice when we got back here. So anyway, and he shakes his head. Clarabelle, how do you counter that, and what happens?
Okay, he puts the rope around my neck. He goes up to the top, goes up to the second rope, and as he's up on the second rope, literally, I use the leverage of the rope to pull him down onto the floor, and I drag him actually across the floor with it. So I'm holding.
Sorry.
So he's in the middle of the ring, and I just start wailing on him, bang, 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 into his head. I'm going real strong style here, so there's really strong blows coming down there, raining on his hat, on the top of his head, on his hands. I'll stamp on his hand. I'll take a step back, and I take a running step up and do a soccer kick right to the kisser.
Oh my, she's dragging him across the ring like a sack of potatoes and then beating him like a sack of potatoes.
What do you want to call that, Clara?
I'm calling that strong style.
Okay.
So I'm rolling with real.
Okay.
Would help if I would click the dice rather than do that. Okay, so that's a 7, 8, 9.
It's 9?
Yep. So I will spend 1 to put that up to a 10.
Okay. Do you want the 2 momentum, or do you want something else?
I'm going to get the 2 momentum.
All right. You're still in control of the match then.
So he's on the floor. I'm gonna back off, and I'm basically gonna be standing down and looking at him. Come on, get up, get up, get up, you old sack of potatoes. She obviously was going to go and swear and realized it's a PG thing now, so changed it at the last moment. And she's basically waiting for him to get to his feet. And as he gets to his feet, she goes back to the rope, and as she comes over, it's a strong elbow to the jaw. And his arms are flailing. He's not going back. I go back again, bang. And when I realize it's not going over, I go back. But this time, I actually do a spinning heel kick and catch him in the stomach.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a little bit lower than the stomach.
Then let's have you roll.
Oh my, the old tough man refuses to go down. He refuses to go down. He's going down now.
So that would be a 6. I'm going to spend a momentum to get a momentum back and pass control to the Mad Dog.
Mad Dog, how do you counter that? How do you get out of that?
I think that we've had the stagger back with the blows and going for that low kick. And as it comes in, I think we see Mad Dog kind of just drop and slide to the, rather than it connecting, drop and roll underneath the ring. Now we've still got the rope attached.
Yeah.
So while he doesn't get the nut shot in, he's sold the running out. But with the rope attached, I think he's going to show that Clarabelle isn't a huge person. And so he's going to, as he rolls out, just fall backwards and like flop to the mat, but grabbing that rope so that we get Clarabelle brought into the ring ropes and kind of hangmaned almost on the ropes themselves. So he's drug her over and into the ropes, and it's kind of hanging over.
Do you think that's work, or do you think that's look? What do you want to call that? Or is this something you guys have worked out?
I don't think it's worked out. I think it's probably work.
Okay, so let's have you roll.
I hope Mrs. Bleakwood's chiropractor has a clear schedule for tomorrow, because she's going to need all day just to get through that.
That'll give me an 8. And I'm going to continue. I'm going to hang on to control for that.
Okay.
And so as I've got her kind of hung man up there, I'm going to take the rope, loop it over her, and as she's kind of stunned, walk up, carry, kind of pulling her down the ropes till I come up the stairs. And then I'm going to do a running bulldog. But the idea will be it'll hangman on that top rope and give her a chance to do the big bounce off as I drop down to the apron doing the bulldog.
Okay. Does that still work?
I think it is.
Okay. Yeah. You can doing some technical stuff.
That's a 7. Well, if stuff don't start going well better, we'll see. And so I'm gonna hang on.
Okay.
I'll have that bounce back, and we're gonna have Mad Dog actually climb up the turnbuckle as she's laid out in the middle, move over to that, come across the ropes, go up the second turnbuckle, load up the elbow, and come off with that second turnbuckle drop. That is signature, so that's look.
Yep, let's have you roll that.
I'm also terrible at it.
Yes.
Oh. Well, that is not good. That is a 5.
Okay. So as you go to come down, you're in the air. I spring up, I turn around, and I do a pelly kick to actually catch you as you're coming down. So there's this brilliant time and moment of you actually falling through the air, and literally I'm up and my leg goes smack into your head smack into your shoulder in this instance as you go down.
Oh, my dental professionals and chiropractors of Gauntlet City, make sure to get your bids in early, because this is going to be a rough one.
So I'm gonna drag you up with the rope. I'm gonna Irish whip you into the corner.
I mean, I suppose I should hear if I took something awful from my horrible fail.
Sorry.
Yeah. Let me think here. I'm seriously looking at this. So I think that because you still got this rope attached, and that did not go the way you wanted to. So I think that your arm gets twisted, and you can feel it pop, and you probably dislocated your shoulder multiple times over the course of your career. So you know exactly what that sound and what that feel is, and you've dislocated your shoulder. So mark an injury. What is your injury move?
My injury move is I can pull out of a booked match without repercussions. But if I continue on, I'll gain a momentum.
What does Mad Dog do?
This is my chance to get a strap. I ain't pulling out.
Okay, add a momentum. And Clarabelle, tell me what's going on.
So I'm gonna Irish whip him into the corner, get as far away as the rope lets me come, and I'm gonna come in and I'm basically gonna be doing a flying Muay Thai knee to him in the corner. As he's in the corner, then I'm just gonna keep on actually laying the knees into him, followed by forearms, followed by a headbutt.
I assume still strong style?
Still strong style. Okay, so that is an 11.
Okay, so you get an extra momentum for that. And what do you want as your effect?
Well, first of all, I have a move that for strong style I get 1 momentum.
That's what I just said.
Yep. I also have a move called fan base. If I hit a move on a 10 plus in the ring before momentum, I need to know how you roll on that, because me gaining 2 extra momentum from that seems excessive. So
I think choose one or the other. Yeah.
I fully agree with that. So I'm going to take the 3 momentum.
Okay.
Character sheet.
And oh my, the fans have started chanting here at Gauntlet City Arena. They're chanting. Wait, her name is Clara? Her name is Clara. Right. All right. Clara.
Okay, so I'm going to roll. I'm basically going to do a neck snap over into the middle of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And as he's there on the ground, I'm going to run up. And you've all seen, I hope you've all seen Seth Ambrose do this. I'm going to do my finisher, which is the curb stomp. So I'm going to come up. My leg goes on the back of his head. I get a little bit of height and bang down. And I'm going to use my showstopper move.
Okay. Let me take a look at that one. Where is that at on your sheet?
That's actually where my finisher should be.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Moneymaker. I do apologize.
Okay.
This isn't modified by anything normally. It's like a normal finisher, but I can pull it out at any time.
Okay.
So I have rolled a 6. I'm going to spend 4 momentum.
And wait, you're able to. So the Moneymaker lets you go for your finisher?
Lets me go for my finisher.
Yeah. Okay.
Anytime.
I see.
So on a 10 plus, you hit it clean, get 2 momentum.
Get 2 audience.
Sorry, 2 audience. So that will put me up on 4.
Okay. So you're changing the booking? Is what we're doing?
Is that a book change?
No, it doesn't change the booking at all.
Right.
Oh, okay.
I have no ability to change the booking.
Oh, okay.
So Mad Dog is still going to win based on his move from earlier. I've just pulled this move out of nowhere, and the crowd pops basically.
Yeah. So Mad Dog, that pops, it hits, but now you've got the chance to pull yourself together here after that hits.
Right. And I'm selling it. I mean, that was a finisher move. I think I've rolled out of the ring, but I think as I did kind of this weird flop around the ropes. So the rope that attaches us is actually kind of tied up in the ropes. So we're having trouble getting to each other, and I'm laid out, but it's going to give me that moment to kind of breathe as Clarabelle comes over and has to like work underneath the ropes to get down to me. And coming in, she grabs me, she rolls me into the ring, follows in. This should be it. This should be it.
Okay.
I mean, she hit her finisher. This should be all there is. And so coming in, she puts that pin on. 1, 2. Oh, but the kick out happens. The crowd yells. She gets up, looking down, surprised, gets him up and puts him into the turnbuckle. And she's just pounding the fuck out of him as he goes, oh, this is good. This is good, honey. But I'm fixing to end this thing now. And as she's pounding, he's going to reach up, kind of, taking the hits and lean down, grabbing her up underneath the knees so that she kind of comes up off her feet and toss her. So she lands kind of heavy, the rope pulled between us. She stands up, but Mad Dog's has book been called?
I think you established book before, so I think it is a perfect time. If you want, we know the booking. You can go for your finisher.
All right. I think as she comes up, he's going to, and it's coming back in, and he looks all beat up. As she comes in, the old vet has something up his sleeve. He'll kind of whip that rope between his on his arm, and it'll reach out and catch her as she's coming in so that she trips. And that hesitation is enough The old dog pound up, woo! And he comes running off into the bulldog, slides across the back and up into the camel clutch with the rope around her neck in the camel clutch. And after that, it's all academic.
Let's have you roll your finisher.
Except I'm going to interrupt at this point.
Damn you.
And I am breaking kayfabe because I am no selling my ass off.
Okay.
There's no way she's going to get out of this.
I
There's no way she's going to. I think she's getting out.
I am breaking kayfabe to change the booking, to ignore the booking.
Okay.
So I will spend a momentum there. And would you like me to roll break kayfabe?
So break kayfabe to expose the legit truth on camera. So let's see. This is a way to gain audience. It doesn't change the booking.
No, if you break the booking, you have to break kayfabe to do it.
Okay, so okay, I see what you're doing. Okay, let's go ahead and have you roll real.
So that would be a 11.
Okay, so you'll gain an audience, and you will break kayfabe.
And I am going to win this match.
Okay. And how do you lay him out?
He's got me in the camel clutch. I will push up. I will push up until I've got him at full extension. I will grab his legs, and as I come up, I reach back, and it's an RKO out of nowhere, baby. And I will reach up and basically just Randy Orton him.
Okay.
And have you spent your momentum yet, Garwin?
I have spent my momentum. I still have 2 left.
Okay.
Two left. That evens us up. Damn. All right. I don't think I can manage to heel turn and get this out because I would have.
Okay. So that will end.
Tyler, if you want to heel turn to do it, I'm not going to spend momentum to stop you.
I think he would. He's pissed off. He'd set all this up. And so as you RKO, he will sell the hit, but he's going to fall in so he catches your leg and goes, honey, that was not nice, and will fall and wrap up your leg. And I think I'll do a heel turn and leave you helpless.
Are you cheating to win?
I'm cheating to win.
Yes, so that's the option there. Yeah.
And I'll try and whip that leg so that I get that moment, and the refs are waiting. That's a mighty fast count.
Yeah, yes. they'll do the fast count on that. And let's see. So let me check that. So you're not going to gain any heat from any audience from that, Mad Dog. And Claire will stay at 4 there, actually, which means that Sub Fahrenheit goes down to 3. And I think that's going to wrap the segment because we are past time there, everybody. So I am going to stop us there. So I'm going to stop the broadcast.